So, Jack,
Hi, Sam.
what if, right, a few years ago, there was a rather big tournament in Brazil, and you played, really well in the run-in. I think you probably played well there as well. I don't know. I'm not looking that far. I don't care enough. And everyone thought you were going to be really good, and then your career kind of came to nothing. The other guy on the team is now on a good team. You're not. And eventually you get onto a team with some potential, but the most famous player from your country then shits on you on Twitter. What would you do?
I don't know. I'd be quite upset, I imagine.
Would you?
Yes.
I think that makes you a bitch. I can't lie.
We know this. This is true.
I'm a bit of a bitch. But anyway, for those unaware, because I wasn't aware that this happened until Jack told me. lauNX?
I think lauNX. That's what I'm in my head canon. It's lauNX.
Okay, so lauNX has signed for Foot, which is funny for a reason we'll talk about in a moment. But Immer, who's, from my experiences, a very chill guy who doesn't seem like he'd go out there looking to chat shit to anyone,
Yeah.
replied to lauNX's tweet about it saying, "Since they still believed in you, I think it's better to respect them in real life also, not only in online." Which just seems
That's
a bit
that's
out
in
of
response
character,
to
right?
lauNX's quite polite and candid departure post, I guess. With the
Yeah,
line,
like,
"Thank you for believing me when no one else did." So
it's
curious.
a little strange, right?
lauNX is also one of the 50 players that's played for Falcons at some point, isn't he?
Yeah, wasn't he on the team before they signed
I think he was on the. Was he on the team twice?
Snappy?
I think he was. Didn't he join Chasard's Bleed for a little bit?
Yeah, looks like he did, yeah.
Yeah, but Sprout era, right? This was during the Rio Major. Is what I
Yeah,
assume
yeah.
is what you're saying when he had the run.
Is what I was referring to, was
Yeah.
the Rio Major.
He's sort of being one of those names like you hear him about and there's a European team and there's doing one and two. He tends to be on it. He's kind of been about. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's this strange thing where him and Stair were meant to be really, really good. I'm not convinced Stair has lived up to his potential either.
No.
Has made it clear quite a few times. I think he's a bit of a bum. But you look at lauNX's ratings, 1.13, pretty solid. That is 3.0 though, which we'll
get to.
we'll briefly talk
We'll
about
dissect that later
in a little bit, because I ain't spending too much time on anything to do with HLTV.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I'm interested in what that thread is, but we'll get to that later.
It's one of them where I feel like it's a good move for Foot, really, because if you can get him.
Let's see who they're replacing. Right, it is Masuta.
Masuta, who is rubbish.
Context, obviously. So if you don't know, Foot signed the Navi Junior core, with Makazi remaining, or rather moving on to the Navi main team, replacing JL. So that four got signed by Foot, who had maybe a month before signed a team with Masuta and Jax and a bunch of
other French
kind of
bums
old wash French bums. Love Jax, but he's not very good anymore. Screamer's on their bench apparently, so there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a team.
Fucking hell, that is a team, innit?
But
if fucking Sixer's the top of your score.
If Davidovec is still playing Counter-Strike in 2025, that's crazy.
Yeah, you might.
I mean, he's not playing, is he,
out
actually? He had a 0.8. Oh, sorry?
No, don't worry. Don't worry. Keep going. No, it's fine. Keep talking.
Yeah, so obviously Masuta was they're oh, I guess roles make sense, we'll keep him. I'm sure they were we're going to sign lauNX, by the way, but we need 5 for X and Y tournament. That was probably happening.
I just... yeah, I don't know why they ever stuck by Masuta, because he's fucking rubbish.
But Navi Junior were one of the definitely one of the best tier 2 teams in the world. So they did lose their best player. I think lauNX is probably not as good as Makazi, but I don't think he's bad.
No, he's definitely not. And I guess the key thing is that he once looked like he could be as good as Makazi is now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get him back to 75% of that level, maybe we don't see them drop off too hard. But without Makazi, otherwise they are dropping off.
Demon's pretty good, right? But I think the other three are kind of all right. I think Demon's probably the other star in that team. So it's kind of
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll wait and see.
And if it doesn't work, at least they've got Scream on their bench.
Scream's been on some crazy rosters,
It really has, and we're not going into them. So, Charlie,
Bro, like Nevera was
play
signed as well.
play the
Crazy.
music.
Yeah.
Just play the fucking music.
You could do a
Okay, so I've just been told that Jack's going to do a French accent for this story. Therefore, Jack, please read out the news.
Salut, GentleMates et CS avec IberianSoul roster. Comme ci, comme ça.
Well, that was fucking dreadful. Let's not do that. Let's
Okay.
not do that again. Yeah, so
When you read GentleMates, do you not say genitals ever?
I think it does seem like a euphemism, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
genital mates.
There's
Mates with willies.
there's something definitely inappropriate about GentleMates. Like, they are,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like the Beatles, where they're definitely hiding what was going on in their dressing room. Like, when they're all there, like, slamming all their psychedelics and whatnot,
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
was sucking someone else's knob. I'm just saying, there's
Which
nothing wrong
Beatle?
with it.
Which Beatle was sucking?
Um,
It's John. It's John.
John and Ringo. Probably.
They were both, or John to Ringo?
Up to you.
My guess would have been John to Ringo, but and then
Okay.
Paul's just kind of there, like, I can't do an accent, but like, well done, lads. Just cheering him on.
Paul's just in the corner planning fake.
Yeah,
his
and
death
George is
or whatever,
probably dead at this point, or what? I don't know.
and being replaced by a clone or whatever that fucking theory is. Anyway, Counter-Strike. Yeah, so IberianSoul, which is that same
Was
Movistar Riders
Movistar, then
lineup
was Koi,
that
then
was
was.
rubbish, and then good for a Cologne.
Well, they did good at Cologne with some Pius,
yeah,
and
and
then
then
Pius
they
was like, fucking see ya.
and then they benched some players, and
Yeah.
then Alex went and like stank it up on Nip, and eventually
I forgot about that.
yeah,
Martinez was on 9Z
9Z,
for a while.
Yeah. And anyway, eventually they realise that they're actually pretty rubbish, but they're better
They're just
together.
a little bit less rubbish together, yeah.
Kind of like Saw and like Aurora. They've also done it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're now IberianSoul, and actually somehow have been doing really well. Like, if you actually look up their record, which is pretty reasonable in recent months, it kind of looks the same as it did before that Cologne. Where before that Cologne, they won, I think it was DreamHack Open Valencia or something like
Yeah.
that. Or, well, I guess it would have been Challenger then, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, it was Cologne 22, I think, wasn't it? Either way.
22 is when they had the semi-finals or quarter-final run, yeah.
Yeah, either way, like, they're back to the point that they can be, where they can be one of the top tier 2 rosters. And they also, it says there on the story on the screen, like, they're just outside of the major qualification zone. They could feasibly get in it, because,
Sorry,
the cut-off's
just
in 2
reading.
months.
They won Epiclan.
Yeah, well,
That's how they did. Okay, with Smooya standing in. So
well,
that's upsetting.
yeah, I've got my own thoughts on. I know it's a thing that no, I was going to say Smooth. I was going to say having teams outside the UK in Epic and outside of the US in Frag, because I think it's a shame for both. But that doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to criticise a team for exploiting.
It's VRS's fault again.
That I don't think should happen. Anyway, pretty smart pickup from GentleMates. Actually, a good place to enter CS with, because if you remember a long time
They're not going
ago
to cost what a major roster will cost, right?
Well,
But,
yeah,
like,
and
you
they're
can probably
close
get
enough.
them there,
Yeah.
and then you get sick money. So yeah,
But if you remember, I think it was close to the start of the year, there was a report from Nell, I want to say it was, that GentleMates were after...
there was a
like,
weird team, right?
Uh,
Sui and Ash.
yeah, it was like Sui, Ash, and then 3 players from 3D Max. And then the 5th was unknown, which always felt a bit
like
bullshit.
It was pretty much like without Maka, right? There was like a random AWPA that we didn't know who they were going to sign.
Yeah. So it always felt a little bit bullshit. But what I will say is I think this is a team that is a much better sign than that, because you've obviously, like, yes, a 3D Max score would have a stronger VRS standing, but you're playing with a lot of variables for them to hold their level.
Yeah.
This team is a team with a pretty consistent level, and, you know, in theory can push to major qualification, and if not, I think GentleMates probably have the money to, like, slowly improve their roster and make sure they do.
This is also like one of the teams where, like, when we had RMRs, like they would be like your RMR pick, right? Like they'll probably make a run in the RMR.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to harp on about VRS and the lack of all the changes and stuff, but like, it's a shame we don't have those kind of, you know, domestic rosters where they can do something cool.
They're just, you know, they're one of those teams that are in an okay place.
Yeah.
Because of VRS, but also kind of really just suffer from VRS, and we're not going to go into VRS because I think we've spent 8 months doing that on this podcast.
Yes, enough. Yes,
but overall, pretty good from GentleMates, and it's nice to see an org enter CS. Like
instead of exit. Yeah,
we don't see that enough nowadays. And you look at Foot and GentleMates; they've both got strong standings in Valorant as well. So it feels like they're probably both orgs on the up, which is good.
Yeah, we mentioned Carl last week, didn't we?
What, Complexity going to Passion UA?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we did. If you didn't see that happen, Complexity went to Passion UA and Complexity are leaving Counter-Strike.
Yeah, big sad.
Yeah, I want to make a joke. I really do.
It just kind of sucks, though. It's just shit.
But the joke's with the roster. The joke isn't with the organisation. Like, you should read the newsletter, and no, Producer Charlie, this isn't a good time for an ad read. However, if you want to cut me off mid-sentence, it probably would be quite funny. But anyway, it's a really funny one, because we give Complexity a lot of shit on this podcast, but the shit really was with the roster. It wasn't with the organisation. It's just that those two kind of, unfortunately, go hand in hand. As for an organisation, Complexity is the greatest organisation in NA history. It's not Liquid, the Dutch organisation, for winning a Grand Slam, and it's not Cloud9 for winning a major, subsequently having their roster blow up and do everything they can to have a non-competitive roster afterwards. It's Complexity, who are the oldest org in North American Counter-Strike, won multiple majors back in 1.6, and have always stuck true. Besides, like, brief moments, like there's a point towards the end of 1.6 where they had a Brazilian team with Fallen and some people, and obviously the Juggernaut. But other than that, they've mainly stayed true to their mission of being a North American Counter-Strike team, which is pretty commendable considering the region's pretty shit. So, yeah, big shame to see them go, but hopefully at some point they return.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Anyway, moving on to another national roster. This one is unfortunately struggling, though. Big have made some changes. Prosus has returned to the main roster, with QB dropping out, and Skrunk, who was their coach, is gone after a month. Now, because I had to look this up, because I was writing about them, how many times do you think Prosus has gone in and out of the roster? I'm not sure if it says it on the screen.
He's joined 3 times, so like three in, 3 out.
It's only twice. I thought it was 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it happens once a year. And
I think he's like pretty good as well. Like I don't think he's ever been the issue when they've messed with teams.
So this is what I was going to say, right? I actually quite like Prosus. I think he has some bad games. I think those bad games are probably more down to roles than anything else. Like, I actually think the games where he plays really well, he's really good. And he looks like a player that should probably get more responsibility on the roster. As for Skrunk, you know, there's very little we can quantify there. I appreciate.
I had to do a media day with him in Cologne because none of the big players wanted to do it.
I did an interview with him. He was really sound. Yeah, I really liked him.
Big's a weird one. I don't mean to cut you off, but they're just kind of there, and they've just kind of been in this like limbo state of like, getting to events and kind of not doing anything for like maybe 4 years now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Germany has the depth of talent to just to do anything else.
The thing is,
who is there?
I think Germany has 4 players with
that aren't in this team
with the depth of talent, and I think
It's
Big
Prime
have
Taps.
3 of them. I mean,
And
there's
Prime Taps the other one.
there's Prime Taps, sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how good Prime Taps is above the level. I was going to say Sin. I think Sin's the really obvious one.
Yes. Yeah,
Because
true.
Although Tabson has shown
Isn't there another
qualities,
German on M8 as well?
or
Who's the other guy?
Slacks, but
Oh,
like
yeah,
Slacks
Sin's
is
good.
like equal to Hyped in that they both show flashes where they're really good, but they both
yeah,
also
sure.
like.
Mhm.
It's clear that on a peak German team, whoever the AWPer is would be the ceiling
Yeah, yeah.
of the team. But like JDC, I think JDC is solid. Crimbo, rough year this year.
Crimbo, like he was like had a lot of potential, man. I thought he could have been really good, like
Well,
kind of second coming of Tabson type thing.
I think
And it's-
Crimbo might have been if he'd left Big, and I think maybe now it's like generally a confidence thing.
Yeah.
As for Tabson, I think Tabson probably still could be a star. I think he's just bogged down way too much by IGLing, and I think that is maybe the issue with Big now, is that like
Yeah, and I also think Tabson is like generally quite great, and I think like he I want him to succeed. Like I actually want him to do well, and I want
he's
Big
a
to
wicked
be.
bloke,
But
genuinely
like
wicked.
he just like hasn't really been good since he started calling, and like there's a natural fall off, but I don't know if like the calling isn't good enough to justify having him doing it. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, 1.04 rating isn't bad
I mean,
for an
it's
IGL.
not bad, but like also they're not winning anything, right?
Well, quite.
like there's also that like he's
And
going.
he's had high points as an IGL.
Yeah.
I just think like when this team's been at such a steady point for a long time, you probably do need an IGL change, and I wouldn't have an IGL change that results in Tabson leaving the team.
No.
I'd just have it just be this kind of reset for the
Yeah.
roster.
I
Which I
just
think
think,
Sin
like-
could provide.
I do wonder how many like offers he has had over the years, like when he was kind of peaking and stuff, that he turned down to be like, no, I want to play on a German team.
Yeah.
Which like I respect, like I actually do respect, like sticking to your ideologies, if that's the word you want to say, right? Like you like, no, I want to make a German team successful, like awesome. But it's not career suicide. But I don't know if he's helped his career. You know, everyone knows who he is.
No,
Like,
but
he's like successful, but like, could he have won tier 1 events?
I guess
on a better team, probably.
I guess it just comes down to what you want your legacy to be, and
yeah.
if that's what he wanted his legacy to be, then I think whether he achieves, a fucking Cologne win,
He'll just
whatever you
always be a
wanna call
what if,
it.
though. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. If his legacy was I want to win something with a German team, well, I mean, look at his HLTV page. Like, it's not like he hasn't won anything.
Yeah.
It's just like
Nothing that matters.
it's nothing that matters to most people, but I'm sure
Yes.
to him it's it's,
No, of
it's
course, a win's a
everything.
win. Like I've not won any trophies on HLTV, so
Yeah, well.
Surely
Yeah, I've
shit,
watched
go
you
on.
play. I've watched you play counter. No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I did
No,
look at
it's
your recent game. I was quite impressed, actually, Jack. Not because you went horribly negative. You did. No, it was bad.
the one I played yesterday was really bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
really bad.
But in your defence, and I did point this out, major success for you. 83% headshots.
Yeah, it wasn't like I don't have like 4 kills though.
Yeah, you had 6 kills, which means you had
Yeah.
5 headshots. But I've seen you get
Good for me.
25 kills and have 3 headshots. So.
We're getting there. I've had some good games on it. This
there's
is
some
not relevant.
growth.
The viewers do not hear,
No,
need to hear this.
No, but I want to... Look, I'm nasty to you on this podcast. I want it to be nice. I want it to be positive.
I'm not sure this was like a punch, but with like wrapping paper on it. Do you know what I mean? Surprise, and then you've still clobbered me.
Okay, let's move on. Let's
Move
talk
on.
about the big roster news, which is that
We just did.
FaZe have benched EliGE.
I feel exalted. I feel vindicated. Is that the right word? I think it is.
Yeah. I mean...
Get that bald fraud away from that team.
So here's the thing, right? Now, the best thing, we can stop talking about a fucking bald buff. Like, go fuck yourself. Bald people should not have respect. Second, right? You're not bald. I can see hair.
It's going.
Oh,
it is going.
But like, okay. So
Yeah.
again, I said this in the newsletter. I think everyone, when this move happened, was really excited for it because EliGE had been really good in complexity.
Yeah.
And it was quite exciting to have this idea of FaZe like losing Rops, who is the biggest passive star in the world, and getting EliGE, who had been one of the better aggro stars.
Sorry. Sorry.
You're fucking broken.
Lovely
Anyway, yeah. let's move on. Yeah, it just didn't work out. And I think the problem with the EliGE move is it became clear really early on that it wasn't going to work out because, you know, from the first interviews you get, it's just people saying like, "Oh,
we're not. It's not working. It's not going well."
EliGE wants more protocols. He wants the way we call to change, the way we structure rounds to change, and it's all this shit where it's like, okay, EliGE is good.
Is the EliGE good enough to demand those things? No,
but
he's not Zywu.
He's good, but I'm not sure he is exactly good
I wanted
enough
to get to this. So this was from the Talking Counter Discord.
Oh yeah,
which is the Sponge and Yanko and Moses podcast, I think.
Something like that.
So supposedly, Frozen was the main crux of wanting him out, which I can kind of understand, right? Obviously, I am backtracking, but Frozen is a star player, and obviously they would be conflicting, and I think my whole gripe with the fucking EliGE move is like there are like two good two rosters he's been on, right? The last two, where he's been like kind of open secret, like he's fucking killed those teams. He's ruined those teams because he just, you know, he's been known to just have a bad round of no com, or if he dies and not get traded, he'll just be like,
the shit I have seen him do while wearing a Liquid jersey is outrageous.
You're a fucking pro player. Like, I'm glad you care. Like, if someone fucking sighs in Discord, bro, I'll get pissed off. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, just play the game. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna hold my tongue.
But, you know, he's like not notorious, but like it's a known quantity. Like, and is he good enough to justify that potential? Like, you know, killing the fucking vibes of everyone else. Like on complexity, yeah, he was because everyone else was shit. Like on FaZe, like I know they haven't been great, but like I don't think he hasn't made them win.
No, not at all. Like, this is the thing, right? I know he's still had some good games. He's had some fucking awful games, and like before this year, right? You ask anyone like who the GOAT IGL is. Mm-hmm. Pretty much all of them are going to say cadiaN and say like, oh, it might be Glaive, but he's not done anything for years. Yeah. Like, sure, okay, this year Apex has also thrown himself into the conversation, right? Mm-hmm. And that's different. But cadiaN has been dragged out of the conversation, and that is insane to me. And if that's because some guy went in and was like, oh no, we need to do it like this. This is how NA teams do it. Get fucked. Like, actually get fucked. Yeah. You were part of one of 4 good NA teams in history, and 2 of those teams were good for 2 events.
Yeah.
Let's
not good, is it?
Let's not fuck about here, right? The way FaZe play the game, or the way FaZe played the game, rather, it wasn't consistent because it relies on people playing close to their peak level all the time to get those clutches. But it fucking worked. When it worked, they won. Every time. So, I don't blame cadiaN for trying to change something to be more consistent. But I do completely blame all of FaZe, including EliGE, Rain, cadiaN, all the other fucking bums, for listening to this shit and thinking, oh, maybe he is right, maybe we do need that. Fuck that. Like,
it seems like his playstyle is very much like have cake and eat it type thing, right?
Yeah.
And especially like from what like I've kind of heard like through like both like general just like know-how through Twitter and stuff, but also like at events and you kind of just the whispers you hear between talent and journalists and shit. Like I think he just wanted more and more and more space and spots and stuff. And like I know Rain hasn't had a great year, but like why didn't you replace Rain? Like why did, if he wants those spots, like just make him replace Rain and then get someone else.
Yeah.
Like you sign jcobb, who they've signed now, right? In the first place. If that's what you're gonna do, do you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
so this is the thing, right? And let's talk about Jacob.
And also, yeah, I'll let you think, but like this move was leaked or whatever, like rumored months ago.
Yeah, so this is what I was going to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard about Jacob to FaZe during Austin or before Austin. So this move it's not a new thing. And then when you get that clip from Confirmed, which I think was 2 weeks ago now, where Striker's like, oh yeah, FaZe want to make a change and will be making a change, but because of the Dallas stand-in situation, they couldn't. And when you realise that their Dallas core was Frozen, cadiaN, EliGE, this ain't a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they wanted him gone. But the thing that's interesting to me about the Jacob signing is they clearly don't think the issues lies within the system. Jacob's an aggressive player.
Yeah.
So they don't think the issue is that we've looked to change our system. They think the issue is just EliGE. It's just not a good look for him, is it?
like I don't even think like Jacob's like that good, right? Like he's an excellent tier 2 player. Like I don't know if he'll be anything crazy, but like again, I hope FaZe win now, just to kind of set it in stone. Like EliGE, like you can't. There's not many players who are good enough to allow them to behave the way that they do. Like there's. I think Nico gets away with tilting sometimes, right? Because like he is like probably the best rifler of all time. Do you know what I mean? Like I think you can give him that. Like I just be pissed off. Like you're a professional. It's your fucking job to play the game properly. Do you know what I mean? EliGE is great, but he's not Nico. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think you can allow your teams, like why was the wrong word, but like the team mental then I guess, or the psychology of the team to be ruined by one guy unless they are literally that good, where like you can just suck it up and go, yeah, like he's tilted and screaming at me, but he is just like winning rounds for us.
Speaking of bitch made people, what do you think of the concept of FaZe making another move, which involves benching Rain and letting Jacob be the new Rain, and then still doing that EliGE Twist swap deal that was rumoured?
We're getting Twist back?
Yeah.
Is that why you said bitch made? That's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think Twist is a better player, right?
Well, because look, they might think the playstyle is fine. I don't think it's fucking fine.
No.
So they can revert back to their old playstyle. You've just got Jacob instead of Rain.
But the issue is
Frozen in place of Rops.
It wasn't that everyone on FaZe became shit. It's like their playstyle, their system wasn't working anymore. That's the thing. Like, yeah, you lost Rops, right? But you weren't losing it because people were bad.
But I think the like linchpin for that system was Twist. I think there's very few people in Counter-Strike that could do what
I think
Twist
it's kind of one of
did
those
for FaZe.
unquantifiables, right? Where like
Yeah.
like he's not like particularly like crazy on stats. Like he's obviously a good player. Like he's not like your like complete star on the stats, but like he just kind of win you those rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think like,
and a lot of the rounds Liquid have won have kind of been through him just having those type of rounds. Like I don't think he's fallen off. I think like the yelling was bad, but
I think it benefits Liquid because they get a more aggressive player, but FaZe also get that Twist profile back, which they haven't had since losing him, because otherwise you had Frozen and Rop stepping on each other's toes. And when you look at those type of players, in the last 5 years, how many has there been? Twist, Magisk, Mezzy, Hunter. You kind of struggle to think of any more than that. And I just think, like, FaZe can get back to, yes, they're not going to win every event, and okay, sometimes they're going to crash out because, like, two of that, like, back heavy, for lack of a better term, trio aren't performing, which you used to get a lot with, like, fucking, what was it Brokey in Rio was terrible in the Rio Major. Brokey was absolutely awful.
I mean, he was like the main reason they bombed out.
But when it works, you know, they just win so many clutches that they just win the event. And I think that's probably cadiaN's best system,
and also
FaZe's best system.
Not even like from a competitive sense, but like clutch rounds. Like if you think like banger games, like games like if someone's like new to CS, like, oh, these are games you should watch. The top 10 are probably like 8 of them are FaZe games. Do you know what I mean? Like, they do just like put on good CS, and like this is kind of why I was hoping like Simple would join, because like he is fun to watch. CS is good when he's here, and FaZe are a fun team. Do you know what I mean? Like, love them or hate them, like when they were the villains, like, you know, they were still like how are they gonna win this? And they'd pull around at their ass. Like you can't even like be mad at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like that style is good, and I think it's kind of, I'm not lacking it right now, I would say, but like teams are kind of winning a bit more cleanly, less scrappy, should we say? It's the FaZe bullshit, we want to call it, right?
I think
like,
you
that was
still
always fun.
You still get a lot of clutches in the high level games, but like the clutches just kind of feel different when it's FaZe, because clutches of peak FaZe feel organised. You know, it was like Twist, Rops, and Brokey, like systematically working their way through a clutch. Whereas now it's like, oh, how has Zontix bullshitted this round? Who's hit the 3 clean headshots that they shouldn't have been allowed to hit? Like the clutches just feel different, and that's why FaZe games are remembered so fondly.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah, I think it would be good for Twist as well. Honestly, I don't want to preach on jcobb too much, because like I haven't watched him play. Like I've watched maybe 1 or 2 Apogee games. But yeah, what are you shaking your head for, Sam?
Well, because you've just sent me a fucking mibr of bench safe, and frankly, I just don't give a fuck. So there we go. It's on the screen. I don't care.
I just thought we should have reported the news as it happened.
And now it's gone again. Please press the X, Producer Charlie.
Okay.
And you know what?
Move on.
No, actually, not move on. I was going to say play the ad read, but there is one last thing we need to talk about, and that is the Taken of the week, which doesn't come from Taken. It comes from Murky. It is one of the wildest takes that has ever been said in the TLDR Discord. And
do you want to do this one in an accent?
You can. I won't.
No, he's Filipino. I'd get in trouble for it.
Okay. He said,
I know somebody who can. No.
He said Neo to management in FaZe, cadiaN to coach, bench Brokey, add cadiaN as AWP IGL and bring back EliGE. And then he said, please don't line me up against the wall again, because when he previously said EliGE to nip, I asked him to stand against the wall so I could shoot him in the back of the head.
There's a moth in here. Sorry, I'm getting attacked.
Oh, okay.
If I squeal, that'll be why.
Yeah, Murky, that is a phenomenally bad take.
My main gripe with this, like, let's just ignore the cadiaN thing.
No, that's the worst part.
No, it is. But my personal thing is this fucking dumbass agenda that cadiaN will be a good coach. I don't think he will be.
Yeah, I'm not sure he would be either.
His calling whole system that we just spoke about is pretty much mid-round and clutches, right? Which the coach ain't fucking talking then. Like, there's Blade transitioning to an IGL to coach made fucking sense. Do you know what I mean? Exist also kind of in that category, right? Like, it's just like this like fucking like baseline take of like, oh, he's good IGL, he'll be a good coach. No, he won't. I'll let him prove me wrong, sure, but like based on the success he has as an IGL, that is not directly transferable to coaching. Yeah.
And I mean, like, cadiaN as AWP IGL is a horrendously bad take if you actually watch cadiaN play CS2 with an AWP in his hands. I also just think he's generally done in Counter-Strike anyway. But I think this is also just a good point, to end this FaZe thing as just like, I really think people in Counter-Strike need to actually like pay attention. You motherfuckers exist on HLTV. Like, you're actually sad enough you do post on the fucking HLTV forums, you fucking no-life cunts. And how do you not see these interviews? How do you not see everything that everyone fucking says? That you need someone like Sponge to say in a Discord message where... Can you not read between the lines
it's like
in these
media
interviews?
literacy, right? Or maybe it's not media literacy, but like, again, just... There's context clues there, do you know what I mean? The fact that, like, the naff thing at Austin, right? Where he's just not smiled in a single photo. He's not wearing the team jersey. He's got a hoodie on with the hood up. And he's walking out separately. These things are, oh, maybe he's just ill. No.
But when the whole time you've got all these... Oh, like, you've got Rain, you've got cadiaN, and whoever else in an interview saying, like, oh, EliGE needs this, EliGE needs that. Yeah, it's just not clicking for the... Can you not connect the fucking dots? Can you actually not figure that out for yourselves? So
it's
that
called
fucking
the
stupid.
Common denominator, for those of you unaware. And EliGE is, in a lot of teams, tends to be.
But even the more, like, fucking, like, media-trained responses that don't put the fucking finger on anyone. Or, like, even the ones that do, where... Like, oh yeah, it's not a bad thing. No, it is a bad thing because you're fucking complaining about it. How are people not see? Yeah. Why is there still people? It's like, oh, but EliGE like was playing well individually. Sometimes an individual isn't bigger than the fucking team.
Well, blame F, right?
Yeah,
he's another example, and I don't think he's a team ruiner, but like he performs very, very well. Like he has great ratings. His teams don't win.
Yeah, and his stats right now are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Oh, his stats are unreal.
Producer Charlie, could you please pull them up?
I
mean, yeah, he's a 1.22 in rating 3.0, so...
Yeah. But so this is just the thing, right? Like
1.29 on CT as well. Wow.
Yeah, this is just the thing. He also doesn't entry more, but he opens more, which is exactly what he should be doing. So there's a reason why players like this fall down in teams. There's a reason why EliGE was on complexity. And I hope EliGE is the last time a team forgets that. Anyway. Producer Charlie, please play the ad. So Jack, do you find it hard to keep up with all the news in Counter-Strike?
I do. I took a weekend off and I came back to 6 new IGLs, 3 retirements, and apparently Navi's Waterboy got picked up by a top 20 team.
Right. That's why I've been relying on the TLDR newsletter. It's a bi-weekly email that keeps you up to speed on everything in the CS scene, without needing to scroll Reddit for 3 hours while questioning your life choices.
Yeah, it's like if HLTV had a baby with your funniest friend who actually watches every game. Get quick hits of news, spicy roster moves, upcoming match schedules, and even some insider gossip. All killer, no filler.
And let's be honest, some of these tournament formats, you need a guide just to figure out who's playing who. TLDR breaks it all down, so you actually know what the hell's going on.
Plus, it's funny. Like, actually funny. It's like reading a group chat between smart CS fans who roast everything in sight, but still care deeply about the game.
So if your brain's full, but your heart still beats for Counter-Strike, do yourself a favour. Sign up for the TLDR newsletter. It's free, fast, and guaranteed to make you smarter. Or at least sound smarter in Twitch chat.
Check out the link down below and subscribe, because the only thing more tragic than missing a major upset is not even knowing it happened.
TLDR. You don't have time to read everything, but you still want to sound like you did. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed our terrible ad read. We're now going to talk about something else terrible, and that's
beautiful segue.
Thank you. Rating 3.0, which it's not actually that bad. There's a few like games that it spat out that are horrible. Like we've currently got on screen a Maui Snake tweet, and if you look at that scoreboard at the bottom, that's clearly a problem with it. Where for all the data that they've inputted,
this should never be an outcome, should it? If you're an audio listener, in this game, Zontix is 18 to 15 with a 1.49.
This is just CT side over
just CT. Cool.
2 map series.
Donk is 31-15, so more than 2 KD, 107 ADR, has a 1.43. Excellent rating.
But this is where like there's there's not enough context you can put into something like round swing, because there's another tweet, and Charlie, you won't find it, so don't bother looking for it. But there's a tweet where someone asked Harry, is the context of time on the bomb timer or in the round in round swing?
Mm-hmm.
Harry said no, because that would be too many tables to pull from. Well, then the truth is that round swing isn't good enough.
The issue is, and our friend Ty has been preaching this lately, but like trying to get like a flat stat for these things that have so many intangibles is just. I respect Harry and the devs and everyone who's worked on this. Like, I think like they're doing great work, and I don't want to discredit them in any way. Like, I think this is really cool, and I like stats. I find it interesting and cool, but you cannot account for all the intricacies. Do you know what I mean? This is why, like, the eye test is the thing people talk about, right? Like, you can watch them play and go, oh, they've had a good game, and the stats might not, stats don't tell a full story. But like sometimes they don't. Sometimes they actually don't. Do you know what I mean? It's a great indication initially, but again, like that in that Spirit game, like I know it's said or whatever, but like there's zero chance that Zontic should be higher rated than Dom.
Yeah, and in this tweet Charlie's put up now, it's Harry responding saying it's a bit of a weird one. Zontix went up on eco adjustment, so I'm assuming he won disadvantaged duels quite often. But the main reason is that he won 3 clutches, and over a small sample size, round swing is going to reward that heavily, and that's great, right? That is great. That is there with a better explanation, probably an example of round swing working. But like, why do you need something? Why is there something in this baseline stat that everyone uses that you actually have to look so deep into to understand, that can throw up things like this? Because this isn't an isolated thing either. By the way, this is just the example that was on the screen. And yeah, I just, like you said, Jack, I just don't think it covers all the intangibles. It doesn't cover certain positions on certain maps that might be more valuable. It doesn't cover time, which is obviously a big thing. And also, like, and
again, position's another one, right? Like if a player like has bitch rolls, but they have a great game, like they might not get the rating that they technically should because these things are measured. Do you know what I mean?
But
if your Bianca is actually just like clutching out and farming, like they're gonna have a good rating, but like it's more impressive that they're doing it than the guy who's playing con. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's like,
position or whatever.
The numbers also don't like. The numbers don't account for a stacked bomb site, for instance. That's also,
which also, like, this is not a dig, but like these things are like very hard to measure. Like I wouldn't even fathom how they could pull that data. So I get why they haven't, but then it's like, if it's not going to be like 100% accounting for everything, like
then I'm not sure you should be accounting for anything.
Strip it back even more, right? And then
Yeah, if you can't account for everything, I'm not sure you can account for anything.
Yeah.
You should account for anything. But anyway, so the reason we're talking about this, and it's all we're going to say, is Maui Snake tweeted, I have a feeling that the public sentiment regarding rating, which used to roughly equate to proficiency in a game, will start to sour. Rating 2.0 and 2.1 match closely enough to what other box score stats, in brackets kills, ADR, read, and what the eye test showed, that it was pretty easy to just take 2.1 at face value. Occasionally you'd see someone eco-farmed and have to consider that. However, rating 3.0 definitely seems to value easy 1v1s, i.e. being the final trading member of a 3v1 advantage, too heavily because of round swing. Mezzi's 1.49 rating versus Mongols is the first time you watch an entire POV demo back and think, this just isn't a 1.49 game. And if you scroll down, Charlie, should be a striker reply where he said, I've had the exact opposite feeling, where most of the time it tells me more about how impactful a player really was and catches more cases where someone was underrated. There will obviously be cases of the opposite too, just like with previous rating systems, but IMO, someone who got loads of exit/eco/finishing kills, got overrated way more than now, having seen it in action for a few months. Which is, like, it's fine. Like, this is all fine. But as Maui Snake replies, whether the algorithm is effective at producing a figure that represents someone's impact versus whether it matches community perception of someone's output, at the end of a game are two very different things.
This
And that
also
is
something I
ultimately where he's correct.
Yeah. Like, whether we, and I say this as someone who works for a TO, right? Like, you can try and shift the sentiment however you want, right? You can try and communicate it whatever way you want. The community will have their view, and changing that is very hard. Changing viewer behavior in general is fucking near impossible, right? And another thing with this as well is like the word impact is thrown around so much, and again, that's another thing that like
impact isn't quantifiable.
It's not, because also like what's impactful to a viewer watching the game? Like he stopped the rush, like that's an impactful round, yeah. But like, is someone this is like kind of watered down, but like, is someone throwing like the same flashes every round that set up your opener to get a double opener? Like, that's impactful because those don't happen without those flashes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same measurement, right? Because he's not getting the kills, but like, do you see what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Opening a guy who's fucking flashed is kind of easy.
It's the same thing with IGLing.
Exactly, and also like again, so like the cadiaN system versus whatever system, right? Like, these are not tangible unless you speak to them.
You unless you have the comms, unless you speak to them, you can never quantify the impact of an IGL. Like, you just can't. And I remember reading an article a couple of years ago where someone had tried to do this for Shuey, and it was a mess because unless you're, in voice comms, you simply just can't. You can't do it. Look at the Cologne 22 final, Navi versus FaZe. Obviously, we all have seen at some point the round where Twist jumps up on Mini, drops down, gets the double entries or whatever, kills Electronic. Who made that call?
That's what I mean. Did he just say like?
And we know who made that call because they posted the voice comms.
Who was it? Was it Twist?
Was, if I remember right.
Yeah.
It was Twist.
And also, like, on the
it was
FaZe
Twist
thing, like,
or,
FaZe are very good at like carrying like loves to post voice comms, like, and it's good content. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
also another thing, like with the whole coach thing. Like, watch those voice comms and tell me how that guy will translate to a coach. It won't.
Yeah, especially like a lot of the voice comms you learn from that is Twist is also really good at mid-round calling.
Yes.
Which
I think
is probably
that's
why
lost.
he thought he was good at IGLing.
IGLing.
Which isn't always the case. But anyway, like, so this is the thing, right? You can't truly quantify impact because a lot of the impact in a round starts with the decision to make a play. And unless you know who made the decision to make that play, like sometimes when you're watching a round, you can tell who is making call. Like I remember one of the events that G2 won with Snacks. There was a round, they were playing Dust 2, and there was a round where Nico had made his way into CT, and all of the movements was based
Nico.
on Nico's position. Nico is calling that round in that moment.
Yeah.
He is making all of those calls. And you can see it because they're moving around him.
Yeah.
Only the person within that POV can make the call that makes that round play out that way.
This is again like going back to the whole thing of like impact and ransoming and stuff. Like, if I like an A main player on Ancient, right, and they just hear that one sound cue, you know what I mean, and they can make a call that says, "Oh guys, just come through main," like they've just left A. Do you know what I mean? He's not done anything. Like, he's not actually like. Sure, like stuff on B has happened that's cool to rotate. Like, there's obviously multiple pieces moving, right? But like, again, these things are unmeasurable, immeasurable, whatever the fucking word is. Like, you cannot put these in paper. So, again, like the rate 3.0 thing, like it's great work, and I think like it will take some more tinkering, and we'll get 3.1 and 3.2, I think, and we'll probably like eventually land on a vision that I think like aligns with the sentiment of the community.
I just, like, honestly, I just think we're at a point where stats are really fucking tiresome. Everyone is so obsessed with stats.
This is also the thing,
and they're just so boring. Like, to apply it to a football thing, I watch a lot of Wolves play for some god-awful reason, and their striker is Jorgen Strand Larsen, right? And I remember talking to Elliot, former host of this here glorious podcast, about Strand Larsen and saying how Strand Larsen is really, really good. Like, his impact on the game is crazy. And he just sends me back these stats none of which actually reflect why Strand Larsen is good. Sure, like, it's great as a comparative metric against these other strikers who, like, stack up in these stats. But Strand Larsen is good because he bullies defenders, drags them out of position, and allows the guy behind him to score. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and Producer Charlie, you might have a different take on this because you look more into stats than I do because you're a sad little man. But there isn't a defenders bullied per 90 stat.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I don't think such a thing exists, no.
Well,
And this
quite.
again, intangibles that you can't measure, right?
I
And
think they're working on hair flicks per 90, though.
Oh, that's good.
Josh Rosen
That's an
on that then, for
important
sure.
stat.
I just think, like, on that point as well, like I think football's a good example, right? Where, like, the people who score goals, right? Your strikers are going to have more goals scored per season, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. Do you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean they're better players than your midfielders and defenders, right? Like, they're in positions to do things that result in wins, do you know what I mean? But everyone's at work. Like again, these things are so hard to measure. And I think the thing is, like, these stats and stuff is more valuable for people scouting, right? You look through some stats, you go, these 5 players are good, let's go watch them play. Because that's what you would do. You wouldn't just sign someone off their stats. And I'm sure, like, I think Ash has spoken about this, like, scouting them before, and I'd love to actually talk to him about it at some point. But, like, your stats, like, might be stats are an indication, right? You still have to watch the fucking game.
Well,
And
it's why, like,
people who don't watch CS, or, like, they didn't watch the tournament, like, oh, I'm not watching EWC because boycott, whatever, sure. But, like, then don't comment on the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's why Stown looks so good on Heroic. Because Stown was the only guy that wasn't doing a fair share of entrying.
Yeah.
He got to trade everyone. Of course, that made him look good. And this is the thing. The stats for that look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to watch the fucking game to actually contextualise those stats. But let's move on anyway, because you brought up EWC, and we have a take of the week to do with EWC, because I got into a little bit of a debate on Twitter the other day, where, Charlie, if you scroll
just one quick one on the topic. Do you know who the highest rated player at EWC was? Off the top of your head.
No,
No,
not a clue.
it's EliGE.
Is it
1.5 rating across 3 maps, and a 1.3. Rating 3.0, sorry. Absurd.
Yeah, fair enough. So anyway, as you can see on the screen right now, HLTV posted a picture of the Falcons fan club at EWC. And this dickhead, Edenino, who posts way too much on Twitter, by the way, really, really sad, get a life, replied to it saying, "Hey HLTV, fancy showing the whole arena once. As a news source, you shouldn't really be manipulating the narrative, right?" Which... no, let's go a little further before we break this down. So I replied, because I can't help it sometimes. Sometimes I have to bite. And I said, should they also do it at every Thursday/Friday quarterfinal game that isn't packed out for every other event? It happens a lot, including during majors. Now, Jack, you and I have been to many arena events. It does happen a lot, doesn't it?
Yes.
Right. To which Eden responds, "These were the 2 social media posts with crowd pics from Cologne. The whole playoffs period, there were G2 fans in the arena for the Falcons versus G2 game. We could hear them on the broadcast. Why not a shot of them too? All my argument is that they're clearly trying to push this narrative that Falcons have insane support, when it's frankly not the case, is it?" Well, funnily enough, as someone who has just watched a game every week during EWC, yes, Falcons do have insane support, and every single
Why
game
would that
where
be,
a Falcons
Sam?
game was playing was like that. Now, that might be, Jack, because Falcons are a Saudi Arabian organisation, and if you weren't aware, the Esports World Cup takes place in Saudi fucking Arabia. And let me also point out, Twisted Minds, another Saudi organisation, also had a similar level of fans. You just didn't see that, Eden, because you only watch Counter-Strike, and Twisted Minds have had CS teams, but we won't talk about those.
Didn't they have, like, a Turkish team at one point?
Oh, they had...
With, like, they had, like, some fucking holy cheeks team, bro.
Didn't they have... Yeah, I was going to say, it was Lover and Doc, wasn't it? It was that team. They had a team that tried to qualify through the Asian RMR.
Yeah. There's
Um,
Dayal's famous for getting banned from an insomnia in day one because he called a player a slur in the warm-up.
oh, fantastic.
He was paid
Anyway.
by an org to go to the event and just said something in all chat, and they were like, "Okay, you're disqualified."
Brilliant. Right,
I'm going to say allegedly because I got it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that happened.
if we go back to the tweet, producer Charlie. So I keep going and I say the biggest tournament of the year has a crazy crowd. No way. I then pointed out the finger. Just said, and I said, I for one am so surprised the home teams have support. I bet Big don't get it in Cologne. Which, by the way,
Big have a fan march. The Roaring Bears will do a fan march that we'll do content with and shit. Like,
yeah.
They haven't been in the Cologne playoffs for like maybe 6 years. I think maybe it was in 2019 when they had
Something crazy
Suya.
like that. Yeah.
They ain't showing up. You know what I mean?
And
I will
Mouse-
not be there.
Mouse also get big support because Mouse are also a German organisation. We also have the Golden Hornets for Vitality and whatever Furious are called, which are people who go to all the big events, and typically a photographer will be seen taking a photo of them. Now this tweet is fucking insane. By the way, this is just pure mental. Jack, I'm gonna let you read this one out because this one pertains to you.
Not necessarily, but
Sort of.
But the EWC is sold out, and it's the Olympics of esports. So it's one of the biggest events of the year, right? It's all a big lie, mate. And if HLTV were truly an impartial news source, they wouldn't be so blatantly pushing the Falcons narrative. We all know they have ESL ties, so it'll never happen. Now, again, I'm not a higher up in ESL. I don't know these details. I do not believe that there are any ties with ESL with HLTV, other than the fact they come to all our events because we host big CS events,
and
which
they
would
go
make a
to
lot of
every
sense.
event.
Yes. There's sold out in quotes. I think the event is sold out. You cannot buy tickets. Obviously, it's done now, right? Like it finished this weekend. That's what being sold out means. It's just kind of, and he had another tweet where he was kind of saying about like the numbers reported by like, I want to just say like it's like 66,000 attendees or whatever, right?
Something like that.
And he was like, well, it's obviously not because this photo is less people. And I'm like, I try to like just be like educational here, and I was like, I don't think this guy's an idiot. I just think he's just pretty
I
post
do.
and I think he obviously has his opinion and kind of an agenda, and is kind of getting like the confirmation bias type thing, But the way you measure attendance is most event companies, WWE will do this, like ESL will do this, like most event companies will do this. I'm sure Blast do it as well. It's called like Turnstile Gate, where it's like the number of people attending across the event. So if I have a 3-day IM Cologne ticket, and I go 3 days, I'm counting as 3 attendees because I've attended the event for 3 days. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And EWC, like there might be, entire event passes, right? I might not go every day, but like if I've paid for a ticket for 60 days of an event or whatever, that's going to count towards it.
Well, because this is
Whether or not that's legit or fair doesn't matter. That's how it's measured, and they're not
and this
incorrect
is-
in saying that's sold out. Like that is still correct.
This is something to do with the rest of his tweet, right? Because he says, "Oh, it's the Olympics of esports. So it's one of the biggest events of the year, right?" Yes and no. In terms of esports, yes, it's absolutely one of the biggest events of the year. In terms of esports, it probably is the biggest event of the year. But in terms of Counter-Strike, no, it's not. Of course it isn't.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
But also, like, it is a big CS event. It's the best
Yeah, it
teams, and it's a big prize pool.
But
Whether it hasn't got the legacy that like a Cologne or Colo has or whatever, like, it's still a big event. Like, and I don't want this to come across as me being biased. Like I don't work on EWC. Like, it's not something I touch at work, but it is a big event. Like, you might not want it to be because it's not a big crowd. It's not in a country you recognize, you think is good or whatever. And like, I don't have an opinion on it. I don't care. That's not my fucking problem. Like, it is a big event. The best teams are fighting for a lot of money.
And
By every metric, that is S tier, I would say.
But the real thing with EWC is that quite a few games have their World Championship now at the Esports World Cup. So for a lot of games, it is the biggest event
Of the year.
of the year. It's also, you got to remember, we are very lucky in Counter-Strike, where we look at the schedule and think, fucking hell, there's
How am I
another
going to watch
LAN.
all this?
There's
Yeah.
another Pro League, there's another PGL event, there's another fucking Blast Online event, whatever, right? look at Valorant. So Valorant have stage 1, 2, 3 Masters and then Champs. That's 4 LAN events in a year. You get a Valorant tournament at EWC, you've now got 5 LAN events in the year. COD, 5 LAN events in the year.
So,
EWC
yeah, 20% of your yearly
6.
calendar happens at this event. Like, that's the way you need to look at it as a percentage, right?
Which is, fucking great for those games. But it also means that the EWC is a bigger event only if you take in context the EWC. If you take it in the context of Counter-Strike, yeah, it's kind of small. And
it's also like the issue with the context, right? Is like, if you are just looking at it as a CS event, like, sure, I have that opinion, I don't really care. But like, it is a huge undertaking and a huge execution that, like, the scale of that, like, is insane. Like, you might not watch it, but like, it's huge. Like, this place has like dedicated arenas built for esports. That's not a common thing.
Well, and like Vitality losing to Falcons in the 3rd place decider meant that Vitality lost out on $1 million.
Yeah.
Because it meant that they finished behind Liquid in the club championship.
Yes.
And that is the actual interesting part of EWC. Because the club championship, I believe this year, was decided by Street Fighter.
Yeah, which is crazy. Which makes that one game and that one event even more hype, because if you're a fan of Liquid or Falcons or whoever it was in the final, I'm assuming it was, that game matters. Do you know what I mean? And the club championship, like, I think it's a really, really cool idea. I don't know where the fuck they get the money from.
Idea.
Like, good for them. It's fucking awesome. And then my only other gripe with this is with all the noise about the Esports World Cup. Like, if it was a World Cup, it'd be national teams. Like, we've seen that with WSG and CS, right? And IESF as well. Like, teams that go generally are not good. Like, they're either like a tier 2 national team or like it's a bunch of players who don't play together, right? And they've just announced the Esports Nations Cup, which will be every 2 years, starting in Riyadh and then like touring to host cities. I assume the winning country takes it. If that's done properly, where like there is time put for teams to practice and stuff, or the cool way of how they pick the teams, is that not what you guys want? Is that not the World Cup you want, where it is national teams?
Well, no, because they'll still cry because it's fucking Saudis.
Yeah, for the first year.
Yeah, but it's still Saudi money, isn't it? Like, fucking.
Well, so's most of esports. Sorry.
Yeah, like, honestly, just give it a fucking rest with sports washing. Genuinely, like, give me a fucking break. Like, I'm not being funny. Before ESL were bought by the Saudis, they had a fucking US Air Force sponsorship.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about blood money? Blood money's fucking everywhere. Look at all, like, I don't care how you fucking politically lie, right? But either way, if your point is on fucking morals, like, look at what America are doing right now. There's like, if your point
it's
is
consistency
moral
morality, isn't it?
Moral treatment of people, like, get fucking real. It is the main thing.
It seems disingenuous to have like this huge like anti-Saudi opinion or whatever, and then like not really be as vocal about the other countries.
Yeah,
right?
and
like,
none of these.
There's lots of conflicts and issues and problems in the world. I think esports can be a platform for people to share their views, and I think like that's generally a good thing. I also think like the game is what we're here for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, should Israeli players get booed at events? No. Do you know what I mean? Should they be like, mistreated?
No, of course not.
No, 'cause it's not their fucking fault, is it? Like, when the Russian players had to like denounce Russia and like go under a neutral flag, like, if that's what it takes to get them at the event, sure. Like, I don't know if that's like actually necessary though. Like,
Yeah,
they're not the ones invading. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they can be anti-war and still be proud of being Russian.
Yeah.
Because culture is more than that. But as well, right, just with sports washing, it's understandable, right, to have a problem with Saudi Arabia. Of course, it's understandable to have a problem with Saudi Arabia because their culture is, generally, we're all from the West, their culture is quite alien to us in the West. But you've got to remember what the point of sports washing actually is. And all that it's really going to result is that Saudi Arabia have to become more like Abu Dhabi.
More westernised. Yes.
And more like Dubai.
The Emirates, yeah.
Where those places... Well, it's not all the Emirates, because most of them still have Sharia law.
Okay. Well, Dubai I've been to, and Abu Dhabi you've been to, so...
Dubai and Abu Dhabi are like Europe, but exceedingly safe.
And hot and sandy.
Yeah, and hot and sandy. So... all that's really going to happen from the sports washing is the death of these things within the culture that you claim to not like. So...
Isn't that a good thing?
is it that bad? I don't,
That's the title. Is sport washing that bad?
Yeah, that's the title now. Is sports washing? Sports washing isn't bad actually. But anyway, just to close out the take of the week, just because there was one other thing that I thought was mental. Why the fuck, right? Does Eden think that it's unbiased of HLTV's photographers or whoever is there as a news source to post a picture of an empty section of an arena just because it's Saudi? Because where the fuck have you ever seen them do that?
The only thing I can think of, and like this is like, I don't know if it's even happened, but like the end of an event where like one guy is still sat there when it's a cool shot, right?
Yeah, but that's because it tells a story.
Yeah.
Just like having this section of Falcons fans tells a story. Mm-hmm. What story does it like tell other than unnecessarily shitting on not just an event, but also the game in general, and this idea of like waning interest or whatever to show an empty crowd? I also
don't think HLTV like need to be impartial. Actually, I don't think they do.
No, they also don't.
Like they don't owe you that. Like
they're also not government owned.
You're clearly a consumer of the product. You have your own opinions. So their impartiality or news, and the quotes need to fucking stop because it just makes you sound like an idiot. Doesn't matter. Like you clearly see through the lies that exist anyway.
But their impartial thing is to zoom in on a section of a crowd and take a photo of it.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm just saying, is it
not biased to not take any Falcons photos because of the ties?
Yeah, like it's ridiculous.
It's the the other side of the fucking shoe.
Because I didn't see them pointing up at the top level of the fucking Royal Arena for the PGL major, and be like, oh bloody hell, look at this, there's no fans there on a Thursday. Happens every major, by the way. You get less fans on a Thursday.
People
Why? Because it's not the fucking weekend. Yeah, which Eden wouldn't be able to relate to. But anyway, let's quickly talk
EWC,
about EWC itself, because
I'm delighted.
Have won a big event. Obviously, there's a massive caveat in terms of crowd size and lack of an arena, but this is another massive step for the Mongols that I think we can all be really happy with, because it also included another convincing win over Vitality, and I don't personally subscribe to this idea that Vitality are suddenly now shit. I just think they were very, very good,
like, that's just
and they raised the bar too high.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and people can't fucking judge things correctly, because as we've learned throughout this episode, everyone's a big, massive fucking idiot.
Yeah, technical MVP. Deserved, and also just on the rating topic, like he did have the third best rating in the event across like 11 maps. You can pull it up, producer Charlie. I think it was like 139 over 11 maps. Just go stats, and it should have it. Boo.
Thank you, HLTV.
But my point is, okay, good. I have good memory, Jack. The players above him were EliGE on 3 maps and Twist on 2. Funny, lol. Obviously very, very, very good, right? But again, even without that rating, like if you watch the game, like he absolutely was the MVP. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, and this is why, like, I know HLTV done it before, where like a player who's the highest rated might not have won the MVP at an event, because there are these intangible things that you can't measure without watching the game. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, there's that. The games were good. It was good Counter-Strike. Our pick of G2, they did okay. They didn't do as well as we'd like them to do.
Yeah, no, they really didn't.
I'm not really surprised. I was kind of hopefully optimistic.
But it's also like the format
really good.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's a single elim event, which we don't really have anymore, especially not on LAN.
Mm-hmm.
But Aurora being in the final, kind of a one-man band like Xantaras did just kind of drag them through. But he's done that for a few years now.
Yeah,
I don't really love the Aurora hype. Like, I think I've made this clear before.
Yeah, no, neither.
But this is, not disputable. They did beat very good teams to get.
I think they were very lucky to make it to the final, because Major should have never won that clutch on Train. That is another shit the bed moment from Falcons that needs to go out of their games, because that was a really fucking bad round to lose. Other than that, like it's really hard to
Spirit
quantify,
bombed out, if anyone didn't notice that, by the way.
Because of single limb. Yeah, they complained they were ill. But 3D Max also upset Navi.
But guys,
it was Heroic that upset
Falcons
Spirit.
weren't ill, so that means something.
True. Definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
they poisoned everyone else. Tyloo beat
Yeah.
Astralis. Not particularly sure that is an upset, because I think that's 3 wins on the bounce for Tyloo against Astralis now.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely should be an upset. But they did it okay.
But yeah, it's one of them. Like, it's really hard to quantify the Esports World Cup because it's single elimination, and we don't get single elimination anymore.
At least it's not fucking BO1s.
At least it's not BO1s. I think we've spoken a lot about the Esports World Cup. I don't really have many takeaways from it other than I expect Mouse to exist more within this region now.
Yeah. I think Mongols, you know, it's good that they won. I'm really glad they did. I really want them to do well, honestly. And it's Vitality not winning everything, Falcons not winning because fucking hell, like the shitstorm that would have caused would have just been unbearable.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good when great teams can be beaten. It makes CS interesting. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Like again, Spirit winning Cologne when everyone thought expected Vitality to win it. It was nice. It was just a cool change. Obviously, yeah, they'll have Tania coming in, and they also got eliminated by Heroic, which is poignant considering they're taking Heroic's best player for next event, which I guess will be Blast London.
Blast London. So I guess we'll wrap up
Yeah.
this episode by just looking at the Blast London opening games. None of them are interesting, honestly. Apart from G2 Liquid is kind of the only one. That's at
Coughing Baby
1:30
versus Hydrogen Bomb.
1:30 UK time on Thursday. So the day after this goes out. That's quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Furia versus Legacy as your default fucking Brazil match. Mouse start off against Imperial, right? And Jack, have Imperial changed their logo?
Can you pull it up? I'll tell you.
Because it keeps catching me out, and I feel like that's not the logo they've
Is
had.
it the Ladies Imperial?
They have. They have changed
That's
it, because
definitely
Imperial
different,
Valkyries
yes.
have a different logo. This
Yeah.
logo's shit. This is awful.
This looks like is it Gamdom or like one of those random gambling crypto sites? Like it just looks like that. Very
Is
soulless.
that their sponsor?
Is it? Click it. Is it actually?
Click on one of the players, Charlie.
Give me cello.
It fucking is.
So they just actually. Who owns Gamdom?
That's poor, isn't it?
They're based in France, but who really owns them? If we're going to get in the whole thing of sports washing and shit, it's probably someone Russian. Oh, they're based in Malta. Of
Oh,
course,
are they?
of
Are they
course.
based in Malta? Oh, shit.
Let's leave it there. So
Yeah, why don't we
Gamdom
talk about
Gaming.
Maltese sports washing?
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is a great
Yeah.
episode. I really had fun.
Really enjoyable. I won't be here next week.
No, where are you going, Sam?
I'm going to Cody Rhodes.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
that
going
was
to
an
see
awful
CM
pick.
Punk on Thursday, which is tomorrow for you watching. I'm very excited.
Good
Very
for you.
excited.
Yeah, I don't know who'll be here next week. That's up to Jack.
I'll probably forget.
Yeah, he'll probably just forget and you won't get a podcast episode. But I will.
If
try
you
to
want one,
remind him.
if you do want one, and you have an idea for a guest, comment down below, and I'll see who I can wrangle.
Otherwise, he's going to pull a shit out of his ass, place it on a camera next to
Put some
him,
Google
and
eyes on it.
that'll
Mr.
be
Hanky.
that'll
Yeah.
be the podcast. Yes. And with that,
And it'll be more entertaining than you.
yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm Sam.
I'm Jack. Producer Charlie. Shout out.
Like a 1. There's a 2 at the end of the CS part of it. He's Jack. Made a train once. There's a H in there somewhere. And
H-train.
yeah, producer Charlie, you've seen his Twitter throughout the episode probably,
Yeah.
as well as a
Go follow him.
incredibly named DM group. If you look at that, shout out Cherub's Dungeon.
Let's do some
that
dropping.
won't make it into the episode.
Ah, fuck. And yeah, James also does things. He makes thumbnails
Shout out the man down.
and whatnot. Shout out James. Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.